All right, well, let's get into the breakdown of the show. Episode 8 was, I don't know, a lot, because episode 7 ends with this. We're on the edge of our seats. We don't know what's going on, and then all of a sudden get here, so we get some answers. I'm happy that we finally got some answers going on. So I don't know, what'd you guys think of the episode? Your overall thoughts?
I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I liked, we got some answers, and then we got a little bit more stuff going on too that I was interested in. So I thought it was a really good episode, and it definitely pushed the story along. So I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, same. I was enjoying it a lot. We start getting questions answered, and then getting more questions. And it's building up. It's building up, and it's really good on both sides. In Juliette Silo and in the starting of the rebellion. In Silo 18. So
this is the best part. This best episode of Silo 17. This is the best time. Like, we're starting to get other people. We know what's going on, or we're starting to open up the world. I don't even know if you noticed it. It seemed lighter.
It did. It did. That's what I was like. I don't know if it was just me, or maybe my eyes are getting used to it. If you're stuck in the darkness for so long, you start to see more things. Maybe that's what it was. But I thought it was brighter too. I don't know.
Dr. Dev says I was kind of bored with this episode.
Okay.
Only 2 episodes left. I imagine that a lot's going to happen in these last 2 episodes.
For sure.
I mean, next week's episode is the penultimate episode. That's usually the heavy lifting episode, because your finale is closing up, ending things. Figuring out how to tie up loose ends and stuff, or leave you on cliffhanger.
Yeah.
But next week, that has to be a huge one.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Got Nanette in the building. How you doing?
Hey, what's up? Appreciate it.
Dr. Deb says last week's episode was fantastic. This one, not so much for me. Probably my favorite last week was his favorite. Least favorite was this week. Wow, I think they answered a lot of questions this week. But I didn't like what the characters, their decisions.
Yeah. But smart people are making super decisions, and I always hate that when they do that in a TV show. Don't dumb down smart people.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, Brian. I'm also wondering if your plot twist will be this season or season 3 reveal. I think it might be a cliffhanger of season 2. I think that might be the last thing we find out of season 2.
That'd be interesting.
I just say yes, the decisions. Yeah, Walker, come on, bro.
Yeah,
come on, man.
Yeah.
I told you guys last week that's what Walker was gonna do. I said she is going to snitch. She's too worried about her wife, and she's gonna snitch. That's why she turned the camera on. It was a sign to get him to know, I need to talk to you. You know what I mean? So yeah, she snitched. I know.
And Bernard's gonna get that. He's gonna find it out.
Yeah.
So Erica says, I need Sims and his wife. First of all, Erica's special.
Yeah.
That's his girl.
Yeah.
Erica is also, she binged it so fast. She's already read the book that I'm still trying to read through. She already finished.
Binged season 1, is caught up with season 2, and read the book, like all within like a month. So
I'm definitely trying to catch up. Like, what? So
definitely hooked.
Says, I need Sims and his wife to stop playing with fire when they have a small child. Like, Bernard wouldn't be above harming a child in a second. Oh no. Oh, 100%. But I think I will get into in this episode, but there's something that is told to Lucas, like, you act like a badass, but a real badass says very few words, and that describes Sims completely. He's such a badass. He ain't got to. He warns you one time. He's gonna fall through.
Yeah. But also, Sims got bigger fish to fry, as we find out in this episode. So
got a lot going on. There's a lot going on everywhere.
Yeah.
That says, I'm not feeling good today, but I'm getting better. Thanks for asking. I'm glad you're getting better. I'm feeling better. And it's able to come and talk to us and join. So I appreciate that too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I was disappointed in Walker. Carla sacrificed herself so the mechanical department could do what they need to do, and Martha goes on and undercuts them.
Facts.
Do you know how many people that are sick people that didn't get medicine because Walk did that?
Facts.
I mean, you straight up sacrifice. I know we're gonna get into it, but you straight up sacrifice like 10 people, so you can look at somebody through a window that doesn't even know you're looking at them.
And you already know never to trust this guy, right? Everybody knows not to trust Bernard no matter what he says, and you still went and did all of that
because he just gave you that little crumb, and you took it, and now he's got you. That's it.
Yeah,
he's got you. Even if you want to back out, it's too late now.
Yeah, for sure.
And now you put everyone at risk. You put her at risk.
Yeah.
He had no idea what Carla was going to happen with Carla, but now everyone's at risk. Carla's at risk, and she can't even get away from it. So it's so stupid.
Facts.
If Bernard hurt Sims' child, Sims will throw him off the shallow edge and send his ass down to engineering in a splat. 100%. I don't know if he would do that. I think he actually would throw him with a long rope so he could break his neck and then hang him. For everyone to side can see what's going on, or put a bungee cord on him on his neck so he can bounce up and down. So Billings and his wife are being risky and with their baby as well. 100%. I'm enjoying that. You know, Kathleen I didn't like her, right? I'm starting to like her a lot more now.
The only thing about them is, even though, I agree she's being risky with the baby and stuff like that, but they're not on either side. They're looking for truth. You know what I mean? So that's what I understand.
I said this before, but again, I wish there was some type of counter on screen to show how much time is passing. I feel like days in the Silo 18, yet hours and minutes in Silo 17. That's a good point. Like even in the book, I think Juliette was only sheriff for a week. But you had no idea. It felt like 3 days on the show. So
the show was pretty quick.
Yeah. Walker needs to tell Shirley and Knox that she effed up and she should give Bernard false info. But then Bernard can hurt Carla.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know,
she's not going to risk that. She's not going to risk that.
Dr. Deb is right. Yeah, it does. It's hard to figure out what's going on. So,
yeah.
All right. So, start off this episode with Juliette getting out of the water, kind of trying to figure out what the hell's going on, what the hell happened, where's Solo, what's going on with the blood. So, she goes through that. Then she starts to see stuff. So she goes up, climb up the silo, walking up, not feeling good. You can start to see her be agitated, you know, starting to see her arms and limbs kind of shake a little bit as she's walking up the silo. And you see her arms starting to hurt. And then they go right to silo 18. And we see Bernard walking down. So as she's going up silo 17, you know, we see Bernard coming down in 18. So just like the opposites of all this stuff. And they're showing that. I think they're doing it more and more in this episode. You're seeing them two polarizing characters that are doing opposite things all the time. And you see it throughout the switching of the silos. I think that's actually a good way to do it. It annoyed me for a long time, but I'm starting to understand why they're jumping back and forth. And I think by the end of this episode, end of this season, we will really understand, because they're going to be at a point where we understand the revolution that happened in 17, 100%, and we're going to see what's going on in 18.
Yeah.
You know, it's a mirror. Bernard's running now, and he goes to the utilities closet, GWP 90. It's just all to show us where he is, where he's hiding. So when Walt comes up, we know exactly. So you already know he's on floor 90. And while that's going on, we see Shirley. She's painting another name because another person was lost during the struggle, during this war. kind of what Nikisha said. Whereas casualties, they want a rebellion, so people have to die. This is what they do down below. They put their names on the wall. They recognize them, and she is right now putting Cooper's name on the wall.
Yeah,
adding it to the list of engineering and mechanical people that have given their lives for the silo.
Yeah.
And then we kind of go to the mess hall with Billings. He's sitting down. The rest of the people at mechanical are looking like, what the hell is he doing? What is he even doing here right now? And he's just sitting there just eating his soup. Fine. Shirley comes up. Can I sit here? He's like, yeah, sure. Why not? Sit down. He's definitely, you see him trying to play a role in front of everybody. I think this was kind of the scene when you see him, you can see the fake facade because he is having identity crisis.
Yeah.
And this was the first time I saw, he's trying to show the sheriff badge. He's trying to give the demeanor that he's calm, he's okay. Yet you can see
also even where he's sitting like front and center, right in front of the camera screen and everything. Like he's like, like, hey, I'm in charge.
I'm still sheriff.
Yes, yeah.
And it's funny he does that because Shirley basically tells him, like, man, stop BSing. We all know what's going on. Are you even sheriff anymore? Are you doing any of this stuff anymore? Does that even make sense right now? You should be doing more. And she's like, so why don't you come help us? And he's like, well, I'm going to do as much as the pact allows me to do. I still believe in the pact. And she's like, when do you call bullshit on it?
that was great.
That was a hell of a line.
Yeah.
But you still saw the passion in Billings because he's like, if we don't believe in the pact, then what do we believe in? Society breaks down. And that's his problem right now. How far does he go?
Yeah.
What do you think about this scene right here?
I agree with you. I liked it, and I also said, like you said, it's like putting doubt in Billings' head now. It's like, what do I do? Is the pact really what it's supposed to be? Should I be following it to the T? I think he's gonna follow it, but I also think he's gonna come to his own conclusions about what's right and what's wrong. You know what I mean? And I think he's the only one there that's not gonna really take sides, and he's gonna do it for the right reasons.
Yeah, because like I like how she's like, when are you gonna call bullshit? Little does she know, he already knows. He knows a lot of the BS. So, but he is a good guy and he's a smart person where he knows without any law, any rules, things are gonna get bad quick. So him as being the enforcer of the rules, he has to at least pretend to like follow the pact, even though I think he's starting to understand like it's all full of shit, but also even if it is full of shit, it's keeping us all civilized to
right.
and safe for to a certain extent. So, but yeah, that's why I like this. Like he knows, and she is the aggressor though, and she's like, when are you gonna wake up and know? And he's like, I'm already, my eyes are wide open. Like you don't even know what I know, but. It just shows the difference between the two of them. Like Shirley's so ready to attack, and he's so
calm, calculated. He's trying to figure out what to do.
Yep,
I agree. Right. But it's kind of goes back to this: war has casualties. If you have a rebellion, people are going to die, right? And Billings doesn't want to have those deaths on his hands. Yeah, I think that's where it kind of leads to. He doesn't want that.
Absolutely. Not to mention, we all know, like, even though there's rules, there's always going to be some bullcrap rules that, it's like, hey, I can't believe that's a rule. But at the end of the day, it's what's keeping people safe. So even though he knows it's bullcrap, it's still like, you know what? It's still the rules. We still got to follow the rules. So,
yeah. Keisha says, it's sad to see Billings losing his faith, but the actor is so good that I feel for him. He's a good man. I think we really start to see that in this episode. And when he's dealing with his wife, why he's making decisions, what he's doing, you start to see how good of a person he really is. And why he didn't want to share. because I think Kathleen is going to fall on the deep end. He also recognized what happened with Holston.
Yeah.
You know, remember Holston tells his wife, and then all ish goes, hits the fan. You know, next thing you know, Allison's running outside the silo and waiting. I want out. You know, so he's trying to be more calculated about what he does, and you don't want to bring your wife into those things when you're having your own conscience of own problems. You know, only want to give her goodness. Only want to put positivity in her direction, and he doesn't know what he has now. He's having an identity crisis, so putting it in front of her is hard.
Yeah.
Absolutely, Nikisha. I really felt for him. Yeah. Billings' action as sheriff in the silo is no different than how some police are acting in real life. Instead of being on the side of right, some are more concerned with protecting the rich and their property, or just protecting the way the laws are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like the status quo. People want the status quo just because it's what they know. And a lot of people believe that it's better with the devil you know than the devil you don't kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So you kind of ride with what you don't, with what you know, because you're afraid of
what could happen.
What could happen.
Keisha says, Randall, I would love a flashback episode to see Billings as a boy, battling the syndrome, beating up his old friend, memorizing the pact. I would love to see that time in his life.
That'd be cool.
I'm enjoying Billings more, the details we're getting from him, but it's like watching his journey is one side, and then watching what's his name? Oh my god,
Sims.
No, Lucas. I don't know why I'm like for a second. Lucas's journey, because they both are having their eyes open to so much more. So Billings says he knows the pact, he understands what's going on, especially how things work in judicial and how it works up top. Lucas, because he's from the mid, giving this blue badge, being his eyes being open to so much in learning more about how things are really going down, what's happening, and seeing their journey. And I found that interesting because I'm thinking, what's going to happen with Lucas? Because we see Lucas is he becomes aggressive. He tries to play this role, but he's not good at playing that role. He's in himself. He's still a good person. So how do good people deal with all this negativity? How do good people deal with what's happening with this power? Does he go on a power trip? Because he kind of did in this episode.
A little bit, yeah. Actually, a lot. Yeah.
He says, I'm so worried about Lucas. I'm afraid all this info is going to make him more on Bernard's side. Power corrupts.
I agree. I think he's going to get corrupted 100%. And I think that little outburst that he had was just a little sign to come. You know what I mean? That's going to come out more of him. And I agree. I think he's going to take Bernard's side.
Yeah. Which, I mean, then that just proves how good of a bad guy Bernard is, because he's like, I'm gonna pick the one person, like the person who's smart, and I know who can follow me, who's gonna
super rational, someone who could be a rational person, super rational. Then that he's going to pick that person to, be a shadow because he can corrupt them 100%. He knows he'll understand where he's coming from.
100%. That's exactly
by using the rationale, sort of.
That's why he never made Sims his shadow, right? Because
Sims has things to lose, and he's going to look at like, why the hell would you do that? This is not for the good of the silo.
He likes smart people. He likes people that question certain things. That's why the judge was there too as well, right? Because she was smart and she didn't really follow him to the T, but she knew what he was doing was there to protect the silo. And I think that's exactly the route Lucas is going to take.
That makes perfect sense. What up, B?
Yo, what's up?
And this is where she gets in his face. Shirley is never afraid to get in someone's face. That's just what it is. That's the way she does things. All right, so now we get into Lucas knocking on doors, trying to run down these books. So he goes back to Judge Meadows' apartment, kind of find out what's happening with her, trying to see if he can locate this book. Goes in, you start seeing things out of place. You see all the books, all the relics she had. That was a lot. She had all type of stuff. And I think that's why she was able to do so much, because you saw all the relics.
Yeah.
He comes in and tries to do all the stuff, and so get it in here.
There we go.
There we go. Okay. So they're like, man, what are you doing here? We're from Judicial. We're here on what Judge Sims wants us to do. So we're all about this.
Mm-hmm.
This is what we're doing. And this is the first time you see Lucas try to use his power. And he says, hey, I'm a blue badge. You get the hell out. And kicks them all out.
Yeah, he's like over here flashing the badge to everybody.
Yeah, he's gonna get comfortable with that when people start listening to him and doing what he says. Yeah, he's definitely getting comfortable with that.
Did he seem like one of those guys that showed a badge, that flashed his badge, and then he drops it on the ground? So I'm a police officer.
Basically, Frank Drebin from Naked Gun.
Yeah,
exactly. He should say Luke was trying to be a big bad wolf. Is so adorable, though.
Hi, Nikisha.
So yeah, everyone, Brandman is in here. Thank you for jumping in, man. Appreciate you.
I'm sorry. I was just kind of running around all day and then realized I hadn't eaten. Went to Riccobeani's. It was beautiful. It was packed, but it was awesome.
I had Riccobeani's the other day. So
that was my first time having it in a good, dude, probably a good 10 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever gone 10 weeks. So
and you know what? And you know what? Shame on me, because I used to live pretty close to it. The 2 years I lived in Bronzeville, so I have no excuse.
No, there's no question. I go 10 weeks. That's all we can do.
Yeah. This was a cheat meal, mind you. So
hey, I cheat all the time. So you see him getting the books, going on to Judge Meadows, trying to decipher the code with any of her books that she has, and none of them are really working out. You see he has piles and piles he's going through, and he's like, man, what am I missing? And we kind of run back into the rebels talking to Walk, trying to tell her their plan. Hey, we're going to go to supply, we're going to invade them, we're going to get all the medicine we can, we need to take care of our people, we need to do something. And Walker's saying stupid shit, right? We don't need to do that. We need to go get Carla. So he's like, they're like, that's 200% more dangerous. Why the hell would we do that? And then even if they did get her, how would having Carla head of supply help them if you can't put her back in supply?
Yeah.
It's ludicrous, right? So you're talking to Walker, you see how irrational she's being, and everyone's trying to get them. Even the doctors there, that's crazy. Dr. Nichols is right there too. Hey, we're using scraps. We need to make sure this works. And this is where you kind of started to realize Ansel was right.
Yeah, as you said last week. It's so annoying, because she knows better. Like, she knows better.
Thanks.
And she knows better. Like Carla did it for a reason, but also it's like, if you try to take that away from Carla, like, it's just gonna bite everybody in the ass. Everybody, including her and Carla. So,
it undermines her sacrifice.
That's 100%. It really does. But doesn't it also? We don't know what happened in that 25 years.
Yeah.
We don't know exactly what happened. What did she say that this is the good of whatever? What did she not go far enough? What did she do?
Right. Yeah.
Did it have something to do with Shirley? Did it have something to do with any of them? What did she not go far enough to do? And that's why she's regretting it. So I think we're gonna eventually find out what that is. But I think that's the issue.
Agreed.
Keisha says Walker's nose is wide open. I'm trying to figure out what her and Carla was doing besides holding hands. They were locked up. Oh man, that's exactly right. So Walk says basically, you guys are stupid. You guys are gonna get arrested. If you're not here to help me get Carla out, then you guys can get out. Everybody. And they're like, "Whoa, what are you talking about? Are you even thinking about what you're saying?" She's like, "No, I don't want to hear anything you guys got to say. You know, if McLean is not number one, I don't want to hear it." So being stupid, saying all this stuff. And then all of a sudden she looks back and there's a message on her computer. It's like, I wonder where that's from.
You know?
And we go head back to Silo 17. Juliette is really having problems. She's really laboring now. You can see the bubbles in her joints really having a problem. Trying to figure out how she can get back down. So she grabs the hose again, tries to get back down to the water, and then we get back to cuts again, right to 18. I was like, why are you doing that?
And they keep teasing Juliette, which is it sucks because if you really want to know about that side of the story, but you know, like I get like you can't just it can't be all just one-sided. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but when they're jumping in is weird. But I think there's less stuff happening in 17. But then like penultimate episode, because now we see all these other people, you're gonna get so much more. So it's going to make a lot more sense and feel a lot more full.
Mm-hmm. I like the slow unraveling of the story. I like the fact that this season in particular, to me, I don't know how you guys feel about this. It's more kind of focused on imagery and showing you from a visual standpoint rather than spelling things out. And it doesn't feel like filler, which is easy to fall into when it comes to like kind of like a slow burn or a slow unraveling story. I like that. I like the evolution from season 1 to season 2. I think that it's a lot more. I think that the events are pretty interesting and nuanced. If I'd have to spell it out.
I think this is more relationship based. It's more of a relationship based season. Relationships between people. And that's what's so we already know it's the backdrop of we already know what's going on. We know the revolution on one side, we know what they're trying to do on the other side, but then the relationships between all the people, between Solo and Juliette, between Sims and his wife, Sims and Bernard. It's all the relationships part, and it's kind of what's driving the character development.
Yeah. And also, it's like they really touch on this episode, I feel like, because how many times, I feel like they said it a few times, but how many times did they say, like, you're running out of friends, you know, or stuff like that, this episode in particular, you know? So it's really like all the relationships and all the problems they're having, you know.
Dr. Deb said, this all just seems out of character for Walker.
Yes.
The super rational one that's always talking about revolution, let's stay together, and all us down low, we stay together, and this is what we do. And then now she's like, for one person, because it's now her person changes the entire story. So my daughter was frustrated, but how convenient things are for Juliette. Even though she keeps encountering problems, but she seems to solve them so easily. Yeah, like removing the arrow without bleeding out.
I could definitely see that. Also, in addition to that, you know, I don't know how I'm looking at this. Does it seem like Juliette's more of a excuse me. Is she more of a background character on this season? It seems like her story is still front and center, but you know, we're seeing the original the silo that we were first introduced to, one that Bernard and
18.
Yeah, 18. It seems like that's more centralized, which I find interesting. And that's not a knock against the storytelling, but it kind of does anyone else feel like Juliette's kind of taken a back seat of sorts?
I agree. Yeah, I agree with you. I think so.
I mean, yeah, and you're not the only one. A lot of the comments I see in like some of the groups I'm in say something very similar to it. you know. So,
but I kind of like that. You know, I kind of like
Me too. Me too.
Well, it kind of shows like that the story is about the silo.
It's more world building.
Yeah.
It's about.
And I know I use that term a lot. But yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
I love the term world building. I need to dial it back with it, but it feels like you know what? Let me cut that off. Like it feels like more exploration of this world. Right?
World building is important in the story, especially when you're doing the series. So you don't have to dial it back. No, it's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good enough.
Yeah.
I was wondering.
I agree with you guys that she has definitely taken a back seat because there's less people in 17. So the story in 17 is not as important. There's less things going on. Though she's the main character and we see it through her eyes, all the other characters, they're trying to show that life goes on without our main character still.
Mm-hmm.
I think that once again, I think the last 2 episodes will have a lot more Juliette still because it's more people, more characters. So we're going to introduce new characters, and then we're going to focus on these new characters. Without new characters, it's hard going back to Juliette and Solo by themselves.
Yeah.
They only do so much. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, and also like for me too was like the show didn't start with Juliette. You know, they didn't even show Juliette until what, the 3rd episode, I think. Like, yeah, maybe at the end of the 2nd, but you know, but the first 2 mostly she wasn't even in it, you know, and that's when I started like towards the end of that season when I'm like, she's like the main character of telling the story, but I always thought it was about like the world, the silo, this little mini world that these people live in, you know, and stuff like that.
Dr. Deb says she is definitely taking a back seat. Yes.
Yeah.
Keisha says, yes, I never liked Julie as the main character. This show works better as an ensemble. I remember when we thought Hosted was the main character, shaking my head. Yeah. 100%.
I was like, wait, they killed him? He's dead? I was like, no way.
Yeah, I like how the show, like, you know, it kind of throws you for a loop. Like, hell, dude, we remember the first episode.
Yeah,
you know,
I thought this was going to be a show about.
We thought we were going to
Rashida Jones.
Yeah, Rashida Jones, yeah.
Right? Yeah. And trust me, I certainly would not complain.
I don't think most people
but yeah. but yeah, I like how I like the subversion element of this show. And that goes you know, from season 1 to season 2. I think it's that's the byproduct of a very smart and involved writers, which is something that I always gravitate to.
They understand the show, understand how to build it up. I hate to go back to From, but the same thing they do in From, you know.
No, you're absolutely right.
We have a family, you know, that we're all following, but we still have a main character. So you can do 2 things at once. We could follow the family, but we still can have a main character. And and as they intertwine, it kind of builds the story up. I think that's a better way to do it, especially with how Brandon said, world building.
Yeah. You know, I think there's nothing greater, you know, there's a reason that I constantly use that term, because if you establish, you know, like a multi-layered world, you know, that's existed long before we jumped into the narrative, that's what works for me. You know, that's what makes a show, be it a show, a movie, whatever, that's what really makes it work for me. And that's what's, you know, it's there's no better feeling than like losing yourself in a show and just immersing yourself. And that's my favorite thing about Silo, is that it's so immersive. You know what I'm saying? You know, yeah, that's why it's just working. And you know, I sit at the screen and I'm like that, you know. Every episode.
He says Julia also has so much plot armor. It's hard to care about her. I know no matter what.
She has a lot of plot armor, doesn't she?
Oh, you shot with an arrow? Yeah, I can pull that out.
Just brushed it off like a minor inconvenience, like she's freaking Wolverine or something like that.
He pulled out the arrow, put gauze and tape. I was like, what? And then goes fights like this person in armor.
Right.
I'm like, what? After having the bends.
No, her
All
plot
in the same
armor.
episode.
You know what's so
plot
funny?
armor-
She hasn't eaten yet since then.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Her plot armor isn't. She's a mutant. He has a healing factor.
Right?
She has a healing factor.
Yeah.
So right now we got Sims sitting in the closet, pissed off, pacing back and forth. I mean, Amazon comes in and says, "Hey, what's up?" He's like, "Look, you work for me. I don't know what you thinking is going on. I'm the judge. I'm Judge Sims. You answer me. You need to figure out what the hell Lucas Kyle is doing. You need to follow him and report back to me." And Amazon said, "Pause, bro. When you were in this position, did you report to Judge Meadows? No, right? So no, I report to Bernard. He's the boss. I don't work for you. That's what's going on."
Yeah. But I like how he did it. He like leaned forward, like in his ear. It was like, "You ain't the boss." Like, not no more.
Grogu says, "I dare say that each actor in the show is doing an excellent job with their character. Each character is interesting to me, and thanks to all the acting skills of each actor." Yeah. And you can do that when you get A-list people, like really good actors and actresses, people that have done it before.
I think that's what like makes or breaks a show. You have to be able to care about these characters, you know what I mean? And if you have a show where you just don't care about the characters, no matter how good it is, you're not going to like it because you don't feel anything, It's all about the feelings, and so this show does a great job at that.
100%. I mean, Sims, Common always like he ready to go. At any point in time, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to have these things, to throw these hands. Emerson was not scared of him. I know who you are, and whatever.
I love when he said, "When you had my job, did you report to the judge?" Sims couldn't say nothing. He said, "Yeah, I thought so."
And then he just walked out.
Got him. Yeah, got him.
He's not afraid of him. He's just like, all right, whatever. What you gonna do, big bad wolf, or whatever, man. Now CBC Walt going up. When the hell does Walt just go up get emails from someone? It's so it doesn't even make sense because it seems like everyone would be like, that doesn't seem like anything you would do, like you're just being peculiar all the time now. And after saying what you just said about Carla, why would I trust you to leave out here? So I don't know why the character's not making sense.
Yeah.
Shirley's walking her up and saying, "Hey, if you're going up more than 10 levels, you need, someone to watch your back." She's like, "Nah, I'm good." So I got a message. Who the hell sent you a message? Well, I wonder. And it's like she's playing everyone like they're stupid, and they're going to figure her out quickly.
Yeah,
she's
for sure.
Stupid.
Yeah.
And I like Walk so much. So it's as everyone's saying, it's just doesn't make sense that she's doing this. It's such a swing in character development.
Yeah. Yeah. I always hate when, like I said earlier, I hate when they do stuff like this, because you already established she's good with like decision making, and she's she cares about the people in mechanical engineering, and then she does stuff like this. But what I also found interesting it's Shirley. Shirley is the one that also told Billings, "Hey, when are you gonna call bullshit?" So at what point is she gonna take off her blinders and be like, "Hey, you told me when do I call it? When do you call it?" So, and I think it's gonna be Shirley that finds out and figures it out.
Yeah, me too. I think by next episode, I had a feeling.
I think so.
I had a feeling that she kind of had some kind of thing at the end of this episode, whereas like she did trust, but she didn't. So I think that she's gonna be the one to do it. She'll probably figure it out next episode. I don't think it's gonna last long.
No.
No, I agree that someone's going to figure it out, but I think Knox is the brains behind all of it. Shirley is too emotional and too reactionary to be the one who figures all the stuff out.
She's the muscle.
Knox is the one. Yeah, she's the muscle. You know,
the muscle.
Knox is going to be the one who goes and figures this out, and then tells Shirley. And Shirley's going to be once again emotional about it, but you know, Knox is going to calm her down, and that's why they work together. They work very well. And so once again, in the book, this is not how it works. That's not how Shirley is. That's not how Knox is. Knox is not, you know, he's so overweight, you know, pudgy dude, you know, older, not this good looking, you know, really handsome guy with Shane McCrae, whatever. It's not him. It's just, but they combined two characters to get him, and it made perfect sense. So that's I just think a kudos to the writers.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we go back to Silo 17. We see that Juliette jumped into the water. She's using the breathing tube to try to do exactly what Solo told her to do. Stay under the water until you start to feel better. Because if you don't, you will die.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is about that plot armor again. She just has all things that's anything's going wrong. She survives. No problems.
You found out about the bends like what 10 minutes ago? Yeah.
Oh man, that's awesome. So, and I thought this scene was very like beautiful. Really is beautiful. You see this dead Silo under all this water. And I just that shot just seems they allow us to feel like we're there with them on the outside, just like with a screen in front of us, like like right there in the Silo with them. All their shots are that way. And I really enjoy that.
This whole season, I think it was shot beautifully.
The cinematography is the real is the breakout star. Not even the breakout star, but the real star of this season. Really putting their foot in that from a cinematography standpoint. That's what's really popped for me so far. You know,
when you can see it.
Yeah. You know, and it gives off this it really sets the tone for you know, the narrative, this world. You know,
I mean, in this Silo 17 right now, it's a very alone feeling, right? They want you to feel alone.
They want you to feel desolate. Yeah.
Is that not make you feel that way immediately? Like there's no one else in this world.
Exactly.
This dead ghost town of a world.
Yeah. You feel on your own. You feel isolated in a very big world. You know? And it doesn't give off a I know that when we were talking about Nosferatu, I mentioned that the cinematography gives you like a feeling of like dread and cold, but this just gives you a feeling. This kind of goes hand in hand. You feel alone, and dare I even say, I don't know if hopeless is the word, but you definitely feel on your own.
Yeah, kind of. I would say helpless.
Yeah,
you know. Because it's like she like this whole time, like you're kind of stuck with Juliette. Is like, do you trust Solo? Who else do you trust? Like, you know, like so and then after the ending of last episode, that you really feel helpless.
Well, I mean,
but this shot like proves like how alone she is, like kind of right
in this
now.
World.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because she was a loner, right?
Yeah,
she's a character who didn't think that she needed anybody else, and what she's learning through all this experience is that she does. You know, she thought she was fine walking outside, and now she realizes no, and she was scared shitless. You know, now being in this silo, being alone every second, every day, it's always a worry for her. I think this is going to really drive her character to learn a lot more about herself. That she's learning a lot more as we go along. You know, not that she's just Wolverine, but she's also like just that she needs people, and the people that she loves matter to her, and that's her family, and she's starting to realize that and how important her father is, and Walk and Shirley and all that. She's realizing how important they are. So now it's going to drive her character going forward when she gets to see them again. If she gets to see them again.
Yeah.
Keisha said, I just know those under armpits of Sim's leather jacket are funky as hell. He wears it all the time.
They have deodorant out down there.
I bet you it's crunchy. The leather.
It's crunchy.
Oh, it's got to be crunchy. It's got to be crunchy. Yeah.
Every time he opens his arms,
how do you even sneak around? You can hear the echo. You can hear him coming down from like 3 levels.
Common's still thinking about Lucas being Bernard's shadow. Common looks like he's thinking, I can't let go. I can't let it go. He's upset. I think he's doing a good job of that too.
Yeah, like we were saying last week, I think his acting style like suits the character and it suits this show.
I love Common's acting style. So that's
Dude, like I think I'm with you, man. Like I think he's one of the few like singers turned actors who really there's a reason he's made it this far acting wise.
I put him ahead of Mos Def. I love Mos Def.
Yeah, and you know me too. I'm a big Mos Def fan. You know, for me, it's Mos Def in no particular order. It's Mos Def. It's Common. It's Kid Cudi. I think acting wise, they're the standouts for me too.
3000.
Andre 3000 is very underrated.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Ms. Honey, thank you for subscribing. Just want to shout you out. Appreciate you definitely.
Thank you.
I can see all the heart, the yellow heart,
the yellow
emoji.
hand heart things.
Yeah, you can't see it when I put it here. You know, say
yeah,
just appreciate. Nikisha said that shot gave me foreshadowing vibes. Silo 17 has been in foreshadowing Silo 18 this entire time. This rebellion is a flood next. Well, also, Walk said she was going to 90, right? Level 90 to fix the pump. That's where her and Bernard are meeting. Yeah. So Bernard can get to that pump easily.
Symbolic. Yeah.
Is that what they're going to try to flood exactly what he said? Exactly what they did in 17?
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
Could be.
I hope Juliette gets to see her dad again before he dies. I feel a lot of sympathy for that man. Very sad. Yeah. But he was part of the system for such a long time. How much sympathy do you give? I don't know. When the whole, the system took his entire family away from him. That's tough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Great catch on the pump. Yeah, I mean, I think that's just it's very symbolic. So them being at 90s pump, and then we've seen all this water. Once again, they're flipping back and forth for a reason. They're reminding us what it could end up being.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Now we're back to Lucas knocking on doors again, trying to track down the descendants. What's the guy's name?
I know Salvador Quinn's descendants.
Salvador Quinn.
I forgot what this guy's name was.
I cannot remember his name right now, but yeah, Salvador Quinn's descendants, and we see that going on. He's knocking on doors, trying to figure out. She opens the door. Look at the face. That's a woman like, I'm gonna close the door in your face. 100%. I have no cares of what you're going to say. That's
the face of a woman who's had enough.
Facts.
So you're with me on that. I love it.
Yeah.
We've seen this face, right? We've all had this face. Like, there's nothing you're going to say that's going to get you into this door right now. So you guys just turn around. But somehow he gets in the door with his little badge, finds out her father-in-law is there. He starts questioning them. Hey, being a big tough guy, you'll see this badge. I need to get these books. You have something that we're looking for. The judicial, you're going to be in trouble. I would hate to have to bring you down and give you a formal inquiry that you can answer me right here, and starts to be just a hard ass. And they're like, we don't want nothing to do with Salvador Quinn. We don't have nothing to do with this man, and we don't care about what you're saying. We don't have any of this stuff. And then he says, well, I'm gonna go get a coffee. I'll be back in about 10 minutes. You better have an answer, or I'm having judicial come in and just ransack your entire apartment. Just like try to be a hard ass, but we all know he's a little, he's just like a kid playing in his father's shoes, trying to be that.
Yeah. Trying playing dress up, like you said.
Dress up. And he's smiling, thinks he got it. He's like, oh yeah, I can show everybody my blue badge now. You gonna listen to me, and that's whatever. And they're like, dude, what the hell? You ain't gonna bring anyone come to my house. And then he walks away just like so happy with himself. Like, yeah, I did that. I'm a badass now. Call me Mr. Sims. The next boogeyman. And the guy comes out and says, this descendant comes out and says, hey, real badasses don't have to say anything. They don't have to say anything at all. Less words, and you already know they mean business. So you're going around with your new fancy toy, pretending like you're this thing, and we already know you're not. And I thought that was real cool to say that, and then walk away.
Yeah.
So challenge him, and then right here you see. I'm hoping this is a turning point for Lucas, that he realizes he can't be it. We don't know which way the character's going to go because, as I said, the show is different than the book, right? So Lucas could either go be a asshole or he might be a good guy because he's going to continue to search to run these things down. What do you guys think? Where do you think he goes?
Honestly, I think he goes to Bernard's side and becomes like a bad guy because he starts off good, right? And usually when you watch these characters and the progressions, they start off good, and then you can see why he does what he does. Maybe not as bad as Bernard, but he's definitely gonna, we got to protect this information kind of thing, I believe. So I think he's gonna go that route.
Yeah.
What about you, Brand Man?
Yeah, I see a dark path. Definitely see a dark path. Potentially resulting. I don't see it I don't see it going anywhere, but this dude taking a dirt nap.
Oh wow! Okay. Well,
I think that's the only way. That's the only out. That's what I'm thinking at this point. I cannot picture anything else except for this dude going in the ground.
Okay.
Like
being a tree. All right, so he thinks Lucas is going to be a tree.
So
I think Lucas is dead as the fuck.
So you think once Bernard gets the information from him, he's done?
Yes.
Ooh, okay.
I think he's dead as shit.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, you can't deny that because Bernard is definitely a user, and well, he hasn't. We find out later, Sim says some stuff, but part of me is like, I think he tried to be that tough guy and instantly got called out on it, so I think he's gonna, try to be more of who he is, and I think that's what's gonna possibly get him hurt. So not that he goes darker. I think it's you're surrounded by these bad guys and you're trying to be the only good guy. In most TV shows and movies, it usually doesn't end well for them. But I hope he stays a good guy, but I don't think it's gonna end well.
I hope
whether
so
or not
too.
He dies like Brandman said, but I don't think it's gonna end well.
Oh, I think he is dead.
Yeah.
I think Bernard's gonna and Nikisha actually makes a great point. Bernard does need Lucas, but I don't know for how long. We've seen what he's done to people that he needs. Once they're of no more use. Everyone has an expiration date.
I want to see Lucas take a dark turn, though.
I want to see him take a dark turn. I want to see him live. I want to see him live. I want to see something kind of full circle with him, but at the same time, something in the rear of my mind is like, yeah, he's dead.
Getting ready for it.
Yeah.
Because we don't know how long Juliette is going to be into 17, how she's going to get back to 18. Imagine it takes her a while. When she gets back to 18, Lucas is in charge. And now she has to go up against Lucas. You know what I mean? That would be interesting.
Oh, you guys are really good points.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's a great point, actually.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I actually think that Billings and Lucas are very much the middle guys. They are us in the silo. They're showing you can either go one or two paths. They're the two different paths you can go. I think Lucas, this is going to show Lucas that he is not a badass and that he needs to just, be who he is and stay who he is. And then I think he's going to get to a point where he's trying to be what Bernard is, and he's going to see Juliette and her coming in. He's going to let her in, and that's going to piss Bernard off. I think,
can see that too.
And that's going to put the wedge between he and Bernard again. But by that time, he's going to be so important, just like Judge Meadows and all that stuff. That you try to kill him, but if Juliette's around, how can you do it? Maybe the silo is about to tilt, and Juliette's also the one who Bernard needs because she's going to tell everybody you can't go outside. There is poison. So now he has to keep both of them alive because of the decision that he made, that Lucas made. And then that way they both don't die. He says, I'll love Lucas no matter what, because I know it's not his fault. He just liked the girl. He did nothing wrong. Poor man. He just liked the girl, talking about stars, trying to give it that real good game. Like, look at that. They twinkle and then they move. And he moves closer to her. Like he was trying to, he was doing that game, man. He was trying to work it. Said, no, we can't kill Lucas. He must not die.
Yeah. I hope not, but
we all seen what happened to him, right? That's what happens. He liked the girl and ended up in the mines. So I'm just saying.
He's Lucas. Every time I love a character on this show, they die. That does happen a whole lot in this show. Like, man, I'm like, oh man, I really love Judge Meadows. Dead. All right, now we're back to Bernard sitting here talking to Lucas about what's actually happened with Quinn, with Salvador Quinn. What the truth is about the story. And Lucas is like learning. So no, what actually happened is Salvador Quinn didn't let the rebels do any of this stuff. He realized, well, he tells us the story that we know from the book, that every 20 years there was a revolution. All the time. That's how it always worked in Silo. Every 20 years, there's another revolution. That's what we saw down below. You saw all the names and all that stuff because it was happening all the time. Every generation, they got to a certain age, revolution. Every generation, again, they get to 20 years old, revolution. This is what kids do, right? College kids do that. So every time they get to college age and they know about the past, they have a revolution. They have a revolt. They don't like the way things are going. So it's happening time after time after time. It happened like that for 180 years. All right, so 9 revolutions. Okay, then Salvador Quinn came out with a great idea. Let's just get rid of all the books, all the facts, all the things that they think history. They remember, all history out the window. There's no way they even remember anything. So then Lucas asks, how the hell does he do that? How do we just forget? He said something that I think Nikisha has been talking about for a long time. I think even we're talking about he put something in the water to make us forget. And it worked over days, months, years. We forgot everything to a point where now we've had peace for over 140 years. 150 years of peace.
Which the first thing that popped in my mind was, is this the reason some people have the syndrome? Like this chemical they're putting in the water?
Oh, maybe.
Huh. Interesting.
He says, "Wait, did I say that?" Yeah, she said something was in the water, put it in the water. That's what helped to make forget it. And Bernard spelled it out 100%. That's exactly what happened. And through the years, everyone forgot, and no one knew what happened. And Lucas is getting this information. He's just like, wow. So I was just an asshole to this family. And Salvador Quinn is the only reason why this silo is still standing.
Yeah.
Dr. Deb says, "Oh wow, great question about the syndrome."
Yeah, that's immediately where my head went. Because not everyone's gonna have the same reaction.
Is it makes sense. Coincidence that he was having the syndrome when he was up top, because those are the people that are thinking to have more time to think about those things, and all revolutions start down below, so that, they don't do as much, they don't think about it as much, so they don't put as much in that water. And that's why he's not shaking as much.
Excuse me.
Yeah, makes sense.
Now that Billings is down below, he's feeling better because they're not, and that's why the revolution always starts from the bottom to the top.
Interesting.
Yes, questions.
Yeah, I like that theory.
And
now that I'm letting it sink in, absolutely.
Bernard is just telling us stuff like, as a matter of fact, that he just knows so much, and it seems like the fact that he's able to share with Lucas is helping him. It's helping him deal with all the stuff that's happened with the loss of his love, or the girl he kind of had feelings for. He's being able to talk to this person and share with this person, is helping him.
Yeah, but he does it so without even a second thought. Like, he doesn't sit there and like, oh, should I? He just says it, And I don't know, it's because he's his shadow. He's like, well, you're already my shadow, so whatever.
I think that is what it is. I think that he trusts him as a shadow. He likes him as a shadow. And he wants to have that shadow.
Yeah.
Because like everyone said in this episode, like you're starting to running out of friends. So right now, Bernard only has one friend. Friend. It's a forced friendship
here. I think that's what will be next episode should be called. All right, so now we go back to get Patrick Kennedy. Kathleen Billings brought him some food. He's drinking this nasty ass tea. We all have had that stuff. She's like, "Hey, try this. It's a home remedy." And you take that apple cider vinegar and that tablespoon. You're like, "Oh my god, what is that?" That's what you just got. It's good for you. It's a good home remedy. And then he's like, "Oh man, you guys just know so much about the before time." He's like, "Just like your husband, he showed me the picture." She's like, "The picture? Yeah, I saw the picture."
Like, bro, you had one job. He told you the one thing: don't tell anybody. That means anybody, everybody. It was like, but he's sitting there like, "Oh, right? You know what I'm talking about." I was like, bro,
it's so funny because doesn't that happen to everybody? You tell them, "Hey, like, I'm gonna try to share with this person. All I need you to do is just keep it to yourself." And the first thing, the one person you don't want him to say it, that's what you tell him. Like, what the hell? So she tries to play it off, but I think Patrick Kennedy knows that she doesn't know something. He feels something, But that's the seed that was put in there, and will continue to grow for Kathleen. Now we get back to Juliette. She has a little axe. She's ready to come and fight. Oh, here you go, Dr. Deb. What's up, Kal-El?
Kal-El.
What's up, man?
Dude, welcome.
Dr. Deb says, I think Lucas also reminds Bernard of Meadows. So he's essentially his surrogate Meadows right now.
I agree.
That's a good point.
Surrogate Meadows. I like that.
The actor playing Patrick Kennedy is quite funny. I like how we always use his whole name, Patrick Kennedy.
I know, right? That's like a generic name, though. But
yeah. Feeling good, Kal-El. I mean, I'm glad you dropped in here, man. appreciate you always coming in.
Yeah, good to see you, man.
So Juliette taking her little axe, she's trying to actually figure out what is going on up here. I thought this was interesting. You see this little rat? Like, what is that?
Oh,
Is this a finger?
I never paid attention. I just thought it was like food, but I guess
how
there wouldn't
would
be
you-
food just laying out. Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even notice.
So I thought it was right next to the bag. Saw this. I didn't know what that was. So we might see when we see Solo again, he might not have a finger. See? It is this bright light, and she's like, "What the hell? What is going on?" And they say, "Hey, get back!" And she's like, "I need the guy that you took. He took some of my stuff. I need to talk to him right now." And they're like, "Look, get back. We don't care what you want." And of course, because she has so much plot armor, she thinks she's invincible. So she got her little axe, and she's like, "You ain't gonna do nothing." And
She's aware of her own plot armor, right?
Exactly. Do you see though how the shadow, what they're doing? They're playing this game. It's almost like, once again, like the wizard, pretending like they're a lot bigger than what they really are. Because I think they're kids, right? So, and being kids, I think kids had to try to pretend like they're bigger. These are teenagers that are left to fend for themselves.
Makes sense.
I like that. I like that theory. Yeah, it makes sense too.
So
Absolutely.
that's why they use the spotlight. That's why they're doing things in shadow. That's why they hid out. Because everyone's wondering, why would you hide? If you're in the in this silo, why are you hiding? That's why they're hiding. They're teenagers or kids. They don't know exactly what they're doing. So they're using guerrilla warfare, and they're using shadows to make you pretend like they're more than they are.
Yeah.
Also, like in this scene, she throws Solo under the bus real quick. She goes, "I don't care about him. Keep him." But I just need to know some info from him, because she's like,
"Just let me know what my suit is. I fixed the pump."
Let's be real, and anyone in their right mind would be a little sick of Solo after a while.
Yeah.
No disrespect to Steve Zahn, the man sells it. He's so good on this show.
So we have that. And she gets shot with an arrow because she's being stupid. Because she thought that she was invincible. She thought she could just chop up that little arrow, whatever was going with her axe, her dull axe. She immediately pulls the arrow out and is able to stop the blood from bleeding by just putting her hand over it. I was like, all right, come on.
Man, one gauze pad and some tape loosely on there.
Now she's able to move her whole arm. It's fine.
Yeah, you can go fight a battle now. Go swing an axe and hit people with a shield.
No shit.
I was like, you have an open wound. It's not even stitched up. It's just an open wound, and you're over here smacking people with a giant shield.
Oh my god! But if they're kids, then she is a stronger person, right? If they're kids, they can't handle her strength yet. That's why they're using the guerrilla warfare tactic. That was crazy with the arrow. Yeah, I agree.
I wasn't expecting it. It came out of nowhere. I was like, wait, what? Yeah.
Why was Juliette trying to negotiate? She didn't see that bloody arrow. I don't know. They said, did Solo kill their parents? The fresher bodies, perhaps?
Possible.
That's interesting.
It's a true plus. We all know Juliette don't have a tetanus shot. That's a rusty arrow.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know her. She'll be fine. She'll find some penicillin right before she walks out.
Yeah.
Oh, what is this? Penicillin. Now,
at this point, I was like, she's gonna be immune to the toxic air outside, right? With all the antibiotics and other shit she's got.
I don't know. I just breathe the air.
Yeah, I'm just gonna run out there, hold my breath, and just run.
Somehow Juliette survived. Just like the emperor. All right, so Camille comes in. It's like, hey, I'm gonna go talk to Emerson. And she says, hey, how you doing? Hey, how's your wife doing? Oh, I know the long hours is probably killing her, Oh, I know how all those things are. Doing the wife talk, man. she's doing a great job of doing the wife talk, and you know,
Mhm.
caring about. Hey, you remember you came, you had dinner at my house, and I cooked for you. He said he never brought anyone to the house, but you, Rob liked you, so he brought you to the house, met your wife. You're the reason you even have your wife, right? And now you have a kid on the way, and all these good things, and she gives him all these little nuggets, right? And realizing your life is the way it is because of us, because Rob took a special interest into you, right? So, well, Camille is just awesome. Yo, that's a good wife. And she just said, hey, you know, we do dinner again. We could do all these things. We're glad you got the position. You know, Rob's having a hard time, and you know, you seem like you're in this position and you're enjoying it, right? You're enjoying it real well. And then she gets real serious, right? Like, so you realize how good your life is because of me, right? And she gets real close. Rob needs you to figure out what's going on with Lucas. Kyle's moving. I need you to figure out what's happening. And look at her face. She is not joking.
Right in
she
the
is not
eyes,
here
like...
asking questions. She's about that life. And look, I'm telling you, man, she is the model wife. That's what you want. She is about that life at any point in time. So
Facts.
Camille is about it. So I thought that was hilarious. And then it cuts away. And he's thinking about it, and she leaves Emerson like, "Oh, you think you're the boogeyman? I'm the real boogeyman." And she walks out too.
I would say after that, the first thing that I thought was she's gonna wind up getting a lot of people, I don't know, killed, but in trouble. Like she's putting a lot of people in
jeopardy.
In jeopardy.
Yeah.
In jeopardy. And
Absolutely.
I don't even think she even knows what she just thinks she's like trying to be the smart person. But I was like, you're gonna wind up getting a lot of people hurt.
That's usually the one who messes it up for everyone.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
I actually thought
I see it coming too, Tank.
Yeah.
I thought the opposite with her.
Really?
Yeah, I thought that she, but not the opposite, like, but that she is playing both sides at all points in time. She's going to be the only reason why their family survives, no matter who wins.
I don't know.
If Juliette comes back and the silo goes back to normal, they might force her to be put out there to clean.
I mean, but playing both sides, it seems like a smart plan, right? Except for when the other side finds out you were helping the other side. You know what I mean? So
Bernard
now it's not. Yeah, now it's not helping out both sides. Now it's you helped out the losing side. You know, either way. You know, so that's why it's dangerous. She thinks she's playing both sides.
If the two sides agree on something, both sides could agree that they don't like you. That's the thing.
You're the common bad guy. That's true. That's true. But
it's funny. I'm not necessarily sure she's playing both sides, but what I think she's gonna try and do is stop them from doing what they're doing, right? Because she already tried to tell them the plan was stupid and all kinds of stuff like that. So if you stop them from doing what they're planning on doing, then she has nothing she can really tell Bernard, right? So maybe that's what she's trying to do.
With Walker,
huh?
Yeah, with Walker.
Yeah, Walker. Yeah. You know what I mean? But if that's the case, okay. But still, man, you messed up with that one though.
Here's the thing. So let's go through this whole thing with Walker real quick.
Yeah.
So she goes to the pump, sees the same room that Bernard Harvey has been in and set up, opens up the door. Look, Bernard with this giant shadow. It's hilarious.
Again?
Like his imagery is so good. Like he's the wizard from the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah. But it is shadows what we saw on the other silo.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like using like psychological warfare, guerrilla warfare kind of thing. It's like, try to seem intimidating more than you actually are. You know,
I mean, he is pretty intimidating. He's like,
I mean, he is
2 feet tall.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, then everybody
brings her in. He starts to negotiate. I want to bring you in for negotiation. Starts off with a smiling face. Hey, I'm just trying to do whatever we gotta do to to save the silo. I'm, by any means necessary. I'm trying to do it. And starts talking about Carla, and this is what's going on. And I'm going to give you an impossible situation, an impossible decision, and let's discuss it. All that's happening, run back to Juliette, because obviously she's been shot with an arrow, even though she's able to hold all the blood that she's lost in her hand. All of it in her hand. I don't know how. It is what it is. She goes, she finds the gauze, got some alcohol, throws alcohol into the sanitizer so she doesn't get, I don't know, anything else that she already has, a tetanus or any of the other stuff she has already.
Their dirty ass fingers.
And then we go back to Sims. Sims is sitting at his desk. You see he's having problems going through all the pictures. He's like, man, this sucks. He's pissed off, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's a note. Judge Sims, thinking of the time you came to my father's funeral. Seems so long ago. I sometimes wonder how the little apple tree has grown. Emerson.
Mm-hmm.
So Camille did what she was supposed to do. I don't even think Camille talked to Sims about this.
No.
I think she did this on her own again, and he's gonna be upset. I think he's gonna be upset. But Rob still goes. Meets him in the apple orchard on the farm, and Emerson tells him everything wants to know about Lucas Kyle. Has a whole conversation about it, and so once again, Sims thinks that he did it because of what I said to him. Mm-hmm. He realized that he owes me, and tells him, all right, so this is all I'm giving you, all this stuff. And he's like, well, you need to let me know everything he's doing. He's like, no, I did this as a courtesy for everything you've done for me. This is a courtesy call, let you know what he's doing. Okay, he's searching for books. He's looking for things. He's looking for. He needs to go with Salvador Quinn. He took the pact. He did all the stuff. I'm letting you know, but this is where it stops. This is where it ends. Mm-hmm. And so stop sending your wife to me, telling me to do these things. Wow. And then the way Sims looked, he was like, he did it again.
Like, son of a bitch.
Yeah. She's supposed to talk to me. We're supposed to run by this. We're supposed to be on the same team.
That's why it made me think like is he gonna stop caring so much about what other people are doing when you have problems in your own home you have to solve? Because he's like, damn, like I was worried about Bernard. Like now my wife is lying to me again after she said she's not gonna lie and keep secrets. The first thing she does the next day is lies and kept a secret. I was like, what the hell?
She didn't lie. She hasn't seen him yet.
I guess maybe. I mean, that's if she says that, boy.
I didn't lie. I just haven't seen you yet. I'm letting you know what's going on now.
And she would be that kind of person. Like, how I had to think on my feet. I was quick. I had to make a decision.
And this, I said this one because the imagery of him being alone in this maze, he's trying to navigate this maze, and usually he has a partner, right? But it seemed like this was showing that he's totally alone in this. He is just like Judge Meadows was. There's no one that's, you can't fight anyone else when everyone knows that they declawed you.
Yeah. I took it as like the farms is also where they bury their dead because the dead turn into compost. Like granted, there's a lot of life, but it's also like on the standing on top of like dead people or being built because of dead people. That's what I got. I was like, and he's always in black, like you say, with his crunchy leather and all that. So it looks very like ominous. This one person in this field that's just filled with corpse that become food for the farm.
They do that because they talked about that with the mayor, or talked about Mayor and Marnes and what's her name? I don't know why I'm dropping. I remember her name. The mayor.
The first mayor. I can't remember her name either. And Barnes.
Johns. So Mayor Johns and Deputy Marnes, when they talked about burying them, that they were going to be put into this thing, and there'll be a tree, and it's a circle of life thing. So they talked about that before season 1. So they're just showing the imagery for that too. But just it looks like a maze though, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's trying to navigate it. So I don't know. It's interesting, but just feeling like he was alone in there. But he could be
like, I forgot who said it. Was it? I don't know if it was Brandon or you, Brian. But the imagery this whole season is just superb. It's so good. It's beautifully shot.
So good.
It's shot
so like the shooting is incredible. This is like it's giving me big budget. Well, obviously it's a big budget, but it's giving me like big budget feature film vibes. It's
almost like $1 trillion company made it.
Right? You got me there. But it's just the way that it's shot, the cinematography and the framing, it just stands out for me, especially this season.
Yeah.
It's also things. So he told Bernard, "You're going to be alone, right? You're going to turn around and you have no friends left." Well, Sim's last friend just walked away.
Yeah.
So the person that's alone looks to be him. So just saying. Keisha says, "Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain." Exactly.
Yeah.
Says, "If I were in the silo, that's where I'd want to work. The farm life is hard but gratifying, and you can breathe. You get real oxygen. You have trees. You have all that, but then you also around a lot of dead people. Because all the bodies there. That's how they get trees." Steve says, "I didn't get the notification. I had to listen from the beginning later. It seemed spent more money on the sets than the writers. The writing this season is so interesting. You think the writing is only so? That's interesting.
I think it's all right.
Yeah.
I mean, but people are not liking the storyline because they're not liking the fact that Juliette's not the center of attention. So there's people that agree with that.
Yeah,
So,
like they're splitting the story between two different silos, and I get it. If you want more of a centralized story,
and people don't like jumping back and forth all the time. It's hard.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, and I get that complaint for sure. And I can't even add a but to it, but when you're establishing a world like that, we found out at the end of the last season that there's multiple silos out there. I feel like the next logical step was to split the narrative between the two.
Yeah.
The world building.
I get it though.
Oh, the world building.
Yeah. I get it though.
Yeah.
And there's probably going to be a season where we're going to get even more silos.
Right?
Yeah.
Could be.
So get ready for an even bigger ensemble, even bigger split narrative.
But they're probably going to bring some of the main characters to be able to split this up.
You're going to have to.
Yeah.
You're going to have to. Yeah.
Keisha said, "Dead people scare me less than the living." Because unless you're in a scary movie, those dead people can't come kill you.
Yeah.
All right. So once again, Bernard as a shadowy guy, he gave me so much Emperor Palpatine vibes in this thing, man.
Yeah. He was good. He was so good in the scene.
Yeah.
And it kind of seems like Bernard's coming more and more apart at the seams with each episode.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's just Tim Robbins, man. Tim Robbins is just that badass.
Oh yeah, he's absolutely crushing it.
And it always gave me the imagery of Walker negotiating with the devil, coming out of the shadows, being that devil. You negotiate with me, so I just thought that was very cool in this scene. telling her everything about Carla and saying, "Hey, you want to see her? You gotta play ball with me. That's the only way you only see her through me, and you're gonna be my stool pigeon. You need to give me up something." And she Walt started off being a badass, like, "Oh, I got this, whatever." And then he says, "I'm going to make sure that she suffers every freaking day."
Mm-hmm.
And the face went from that badass to worried and scared shitless.
Mm-hmm. He said, she's not gonna die. She's going to suffer every day. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah.
Which I get, man, especially if you love somebody, you want to protect them, but it's stupid because she knows she can't trust Bernard.
Facts.
So it's like, are you that blind, or are you that like hopelessly in love where you're just like,
I mean, they were married before. This was 25 years old. This is like a long 40-year relationship. So this is not like a fly by night thing, So I recognize that, and I wonder what I would do for my wife in that situation.
No, I agree with you 100%, but also too, right? You know why the situation happened, why it happened. So now you're taking everything she did away and you're minimizing it because now you're betraying what she was trying to
wanted.
Her sacrifice.
Exactly. Yeah. So how is she gonna feel when she finds out Walker did all of that?
She's not gonna talk to her for another 25 years.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He says, I say a lot about shows like From, about which people will watch the whole season before they decide they're disappointed. We don't know how it's going to play out until it's done.
Yeah.
Hear you.
For sure.
Hear you. The mad Palpatine vibes. 100%. I'm telling you, it really.
Yeah.
So disappointed in Walker. Carla wouldn't want her to sell out Mechanical.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
The
episodes in the show should move the story forward. That's not what's happening in episode 8. New characters were introduced, which took about 5 minutes to do.
I actually think it did move the story over, right? Because now we find out that there's people in the other silo. So I think it moved the story along 100%.
Put them all in there.
Yeah, because they confirmed it. Because since the first episode, we thought people were in the other silo, and I've been saying this whole season, like the way they shoot the camera, it looks like POV. It looks like people are watching. So I think we got the confirmation that there are other people here. And it's still episode 8. So we still have 2 more episodes to get into who they are.
But I think he's saying that it's not moving the story along, and that you're saying the same problem that we had in episode 7. You have the same problem in episode 8.
Like she's not getting any closer to getting out of that silo. She's just getting deeper and deeper into it. Well,
I think that you had to do it this episode, right? Episode 8 had to be giving you some answers to questions you've already had, kind of start to get the characters to a point where you can give you a whole load of stuff in the penultimate, right? Because that's where the story moves the most in the episode right before the finale. Penultimate episodes are usually the big load
of climax of
the story. Yeah. And then you ended up tie off all loose ends in the finale. So I think you had to have an episode like this to get it there. But I can see why people are turned off on it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. So this is me. What if Walker had forgotten the secret she knows about Shirley? Maybe all the drugs in the water and something will happen to jog her memory. Yeah, that's possible. But she's down below, so I don't know if it's the same amount of drugs. I think that's the whole thing that happened with the 25 years that happened between Walker and Carla. I think that's part of the issue. And she helped him, and it wasn't enough. So McLean is like, F you, and she didn't do enough to try to bring her back. Dr. Deb says, I felt like like you did, Jeeves. I expect additional silo dwellers revealed at the start of an episode, and we still don't know how. Jeeves said, yeah, that's only 5 minutes of the show, but what about the other 40 minutes of stuff?
Yeah,
Get again now. Yeah, I got you.
Well, I mean, I still feel like there's a lot of stuff like going forward. You know, like, but Bernard is losing friends, but gaining information. You know, like this now he's got you know, Walker, where she's screwed. You know, even if she wants to leave, she couldn't. You know,
he confirmed there's another mole down there, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So
someone will be watching all the time.
Yeah.
God, what if it's Shirley?
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm just saying, but I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't feel like it was such of a, because if it doesn't move the story forward, it's usually a filler episode. I didn't feel like this was a filler episode.
No, it definitely pushed things forward.
Yeah.
You probably just didn't get the stuff you wanted to get, but we have 2 more episodes, so you're gonna get all of that, right? But we had to get to certain things first before we get to those. So yeah, but I think it did a good job of pushing certain things. Story, you're gonna get answers to some questions, and then you're gonna get more questions, and then in the next episode, you're gonna get the the big stuff, and then the resolve, like Brian said. So
I think we're gonna look back at 8 and realize how important it is later. When you see all the reveals in 9, you couldn't get any of these reveals until you had 8. You're not going to see what's going on with Walk till you had this. You're not going to understand all the stuff what happened with Jules until we saw these things. You know, but in the grand scheme of things, what really happened? Really, only Lucas and Billings are the only things that kind of really changed.
Yeah, I would say changed. Yeah.
So I agree. Maybe Carla didn't support Walker accepting the baby and keeping the secret. G says basically y'all saying keep hope alive.
More or less. More or less.
He looks so menacing right here, and I think that's the great thing about changing, who Bernard Holland is from the book, small, nothing of a man, to this big character who's able to command the presence. And that change, I think, has been for the best. And having Tim Robbins being this big, brooding character really helps the show out. He's the overall big bad, and he feels like a big bad because he's a big guy. I think that was a very good change.
And we always knew like he was sadistic, but he really proved it in this one when he wanted to get Walker on his side. Like he really told her, like, listen, you know what I mean, this is what I'm gonna do if you don't listen to me. And then he put all the steps in places to where that he's gonna know exactly if she's gonna be telling the truth or not. So
and she knew she was caught. It's all because she turned on her camera. And it was stupid. Now we get into Billings. This scene is probably my favorite of the entire episode.
Yeah, that's up there.
He's like, hey, what's up, babe? Hard day at work? And she's like, is anything wrong? Everything wrong? And he's like, no, something is wrong. And he said, I went to Patrick Kennedy to bring him food and medicine. And he tells me you have a picture from a book of the outside. Why would you share with him and not share with me if I'm your wife? And he's like, you don't understand the pressure you puts on you by doing this. I didn't want to put that on you. You know what? I'm having the same problem. Why would I do that to you? And she was like, look here, show me now. And he's like, you don't want to see it. He's walking away like, no, I don't want to do it. I don't want to show you. And then she put her foot down and said, look, no. Look at the face. You're going to show me now. Right? You want to die tonight? You won't live to see tomorrow. You need to show me.
Yeah.
Yeah, Paul.
But I was surprised on how eager she was. Like, she goes, I need to see this. Like she was just like upset, obviously, but like upset that she hasn't seen it more than she's upset with him not telling her, you know. So it just makes me wonder, is like were we wrong about her from the beginning, you know, like being so devoted to the pact and to the silo is just like fake it till you make it kind of thing. Like, she's like, oh yeah, I love the silo, and then as soon as you get a taste of the other side, she's like, let me out.
I was thinking that she only cares about her family. Most, you know, people in, you know, you break it down. You have the silo, you have your group of people, but you really don't care about the person you're intimate with, and not just intimate, you know, in a sexual way, but intimate in your feelings and your thoughts. And that's what made you know, Billings, you know, I got to talk to have that person to talk to. So Kathleen's important to him. Same thing with Sims. Camille's the most important to him. They more about them, their family, than it is about the silo. You want the silo to be good, but only in the idea that you have to be safe in the silo. And I think this is what it's kind of breaking down to. And it's to take a weight off of, you know, Paul himself by showing her. And I think that she was more upset that he was dealing with something and didn't share with her, right? And now it's this big thing, and I need to see it. You're going to show it to me now. And, you know, and he opens up the pictures and shows her, and she sees that outside used to be alive. It had mountains and grass and beautiful. And he talks about the rest of the book had animals and children playing. All of outside was beautiful, and it weren't, you know, I think I can't remember in the book they talk about that, you know, the founders say that the silos will always existed. They never tell you anything about the silo. I mean, about the outside. To know that you lived out there changed everyone's point of view. You know, changed everything that, you know. It's almost like as they're talking about it, you could see them almost be able to breathe fresh air. You know, and it was a wonderful scene. It was a wonderful one of those scenes that you feel, you understand the hope. You know, you understand the agony they put in. But isn't that the other end of this, right? Because by opening your eyes to that this was possible, that might be outside, now you have to deal with that in secrecy while you're still stuck underground. I think that's going to be a very big problem going forward. But them being able to share this, and then what Billings, his acting, when he's looking at her and the sharing, and, you know, she's like,
he starts to cry.
The tears that are coming out of his eyes, I was like, whoa, wow, okay. That was a moment. My favorite scene in the entire episode. Like right there, the man and his wife doing those things. Oh, dude, really got me. It really did. How'd you guys feel about the scene?
Alfonso. Oh, he's muted. You want to go back, man?
I like the authenticity of it. Like, you know, it didn't. It almost felt like it didn't feel scripted. It felt natural. You know, you can really feel when, you know, they're doing so much more than just reading the lines off the script. You know, so I got a little in my feelings during the scene. You know, it's the markings of a terrific actor who understands the assignment.
Chinaza, yeah. Chinaza Uche, I think it is.
Yeah,
bro,
something like that.
Yeah,
he was killing it. Just really.
Yeah, I mean, for me, this was like, so because you understand as the viewer, like, why he can't tell her, you know, and then she finds it out in such a shitty way too. On top of that, you know, like, you just want to smack Patrick Kennedy. You're like, bro, like, you know, so annoying. but I just felt like also he's like, it's like a weight off his shoulders, like I can finally share this with you, and obviously he's been protecting her from the information, so, but it's like, well, now so now we can suffer together,
go clean together, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, a great scene, you know what I mean? Like, I enjoyed it, and I like the fact that she really wanted to figure out, she wanted to see it, but I would say, and I get why he couldn't tell her, but at the same time, that's your wife. And I think that's the person that you share these kind of things with. If you don't trust her, you know what I mean? Like, you have to trust her enough to be like, listen, I know, but so I can understand why she was upset too. Like, those are things you share with your wife. That's the first person you should be coming home to talk to,
So great. I felt the intimacy in this scene. You once in a show that's huge ensemble that's about a lot of different characters. I felt the intimacy, the focus of a man and his wife, and the sharing of an idea of hope between them. Like it did something to me. Like I was like, wow, this is so epic of a scene, and it was acted well, and I really appreciate this. And that's why I said this is my favorite scene in the entire episode by far. And real emotion is hard to just pull out, and you can't fake it. You have to be able to live this. And he get lost in the scene, and he did it. He definitely did it.
Yeah, the crying got me. There's like also like seeing the joy on her face, I'm sure affected him. It was just like on so many levels, on so many layers of him finally telling his wife,
Yeah, Nikisha said, I still don't trust her, but I might be been wrong about Billing's wife. So far, she's been quite loyal.
Yeah.
We were all wrong.
Yeah. Really.
This was a fantastic scene. I agree, Dr. Deb. It was a beautiful moment.
Yeah.
It really was. It made me think about real life and how much toxic corporations are destroying this planet. That's interesting.
Not wrong.
I hope he's not experiencing symptoms from the syndrome, because finding that picture gave him hope. I think he's not experiencing the symptoms from the syndrome because his picture gave him hope. It set his mind free because we aren't supposed to live underground, like Meadows said.
Yeah.
So,
I like
maybe the first married couple to clean together. He's going out with he's not going to do Holston. He's going to go out with his wife.
Yeah.
His wife will recognize how the picture was helpful to him psychologically. She's a healer. That's probably something we didn't realize, that she is a healer. She's a mother. She's all those things. And recognizing that now makes me enjoy her a lot more.
Yeah.
I don't want Billings to die though.
Oh, that if he dies, that'd be more so than Lucas. If Billing dies,
cut me real deep.
The
only real true deep. Good man.
Yeah. That one will hurt.
Keisha, we all getting emotional.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, geez. I have a dark sense of humor. I know it's bad. Oh man, but no, I just think that bravo to Chinaza. What he did this was so good.
Yeah,
even the directors and the writers and all of them doing the scene and make everyone feel what they needed us to feel. It's just really good. So
agreed.
Oh, right here, yeah. Together. We're experiencing this, and now we're together. We are one. The thing that Sims is going to be arguing with Camille about, we are now one because I shared this thing to you. No more secrets.
Yeah. Actual no more secrets. And then no more secrets for the next 5 minutes.
I didn't see you yet. I was gonna tell you.
Yeah. Oh, that's still. I thought that you meant just yesterday. I didn't know you meant that today.
The new day. We talking about.
Yeah.
Then we get Lucas that he goes back to their apartment and tells them, hey guys, I'm sorry. Salvador Quinn, I now know was a hero. He's the reason why we're in the silo. You should be proud of him. And the son said, "Oh man, that's so great." I knew it. I knew it all the time. And they're like, I don't believe it. And then you find out that Meadows actually had been there before her son was born, and told him the same thing. And they made a trade. And she gave him all these relics, and all she asked for was Salvador Quinn's actual pack. And hearing that, Lucas is like, that's what she gave you? That's what it is? And he humbled himself to get people to actually open up to him. And I think that was a very good point. And I'm hoping that's a turning point for him to realize that's what he has to be instead of being the bad guy.
Yeah, that's same. That's what I hope. Use what you're best at, and him being smart and empathetic, is where he, is best at.
So he doesn't use his powers for evil.
Yeah.
So, but look, he was sincere and he got everything he needed. And hopefully that's what he continues to go with. He knows about the pact, gets the pact, he's able to run out. And he tells them, thank you. I know you gave me all the information I need, and he gets out of there. Back here, Bernard, it was like Bernard and Walt have a deal. And he said, all right, she told him about what's going to happen to Supply, that they're coming up to rob Supply and do that now. She gave our people up, and he said, I'm a man of my word. I'll go take you to see your wife. While that's happening, we're back in Silo 17. Juliette's trying to sneak. Now she has a armor. She has a shield. She has a knife. She's ready to go because the hole in her shoulder has healed up with her magical Wolverine powers. So goes around the corner, sees what it looks like a kid, and she's like, "Okay, what the hell's going on? Why are they laying down there?" That's happening. We go back to Silo 18, and you see them going through. This seems like a Mission Impossible type of thing. Bungeeing through, because you're not supposed to. That's the rule, right? You're not supposed to be able to take multiple levels, with any contraption. And that's what they're doing. So they're going to get charged with a lot of different things, and they might all be sent out to clean. So, but they go through it. They come up. No one knows what's happening. You see the guards just kind of whatever as they climb over the side. They get to Supply's house. They're about to go in. And Emerson is already there with his people. Oh no, he's here. Let's run. They're there too. They were set up, and someone found out there's a rat down below. And we are the only ones who know who it is as of right now. And Walk just threw those 10 people's lives away, basically.
Facts.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the one that upset me the most. I was like, come on.
It's so funny,
especially when
that's not what she wanted. That's not what Carla wanted.
No, that's not what she wanted. Yeah, exactly. But it's like I always hate that thing. It's like, oh, the one person I love is worth more than all of you and the people that love you. I always hated that. Especially coming from, and it always comes from the smart person. It always comes from one of the better, smarter people in the story. They wind up like somehow get stupid for like 10 minutes and make horrible decisions
just to be able to get the narrative, whatever, to push it along, the plot along a little bit more.
Actually, the more we're talking about it, the more I'm kind of agreeing with Jeeves with the writing being so. I was like,
I think it's the character. I don't think it's the writing. I think this is the characters just making a bad decision. We see characters like this. People do this all the time. Stupid stuff. Well,
it's a trope for sure.
We go back and we see, Walt gets to see Carla, she looks like she's suffering. You said it's not us, it's on her own accord because she's the one doing she's the one not eating, she's the one that's not listening, she's the one, putting herself through this. Which is interesting. Wouldn't you think that Walk hears that and realize that this is what she wants then?
Should have, but she's just blinded by her love, you know what I mean? And it's like she's not thinking straight. And at this moment is when Bernard's like, now I got you. You know what I mean? Now I got you.
That's 100% true.
Yeah. And then she realizes like, oh shit, what I do.
Yeah.
So funny. Because this is right here. This is exactly what Bernard did.
She got your ass.
Facts.
Perfect timing. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah. Yeah. But also it's like, you talk about the Emperor in that one scene, he comes out of the shadows. He's like, ooh, join the dark side. And she's like, no. But this one is like, she goes, oh, we had a deal. And it brought me right to like Empire Strikes Back. It was like, pray that I don't alter the deal any further. It was like that thing. So it was like, oh, he's the Emperor and Vader. He's just like, he's like, I make the deals. You just go along with them. Like that's legit what he said. He's like, I'm
gonna change it up. Yeah.
The deal is whatever I say it is.
Facts.
It was like, oh, and you're like, you stupid. Like she knew better.
And she's not that dumb. So why are you doing it?
Yeah.
True. Smart people do dumb shit every day.
Yep.
Marty says, pretty sure there are people that would sacrifice 10 strangers to save a loved one like a child. That's true.
Yeah, but 10 strangers. I don't think the people that all work together are like strangers. I'm pretty sure she knows those 10 people. Maybe not as close as
she does though.
Really.
She knows.
But yeah, she knows all those people that love those people. Like
she knows Teddy, the one who's leading it. She knows him. She's watched him grow up. He's a shadow. She's seen all those things. So and Carla's also the one who said, I'm doing this. This is what she's doing it for the movement. She doesn't want them doing it. So she's really doing it for selfish reasons, not for Carla.
Exactly.
Yeah. Even though I would say, if I was in that situation, I might do the same thing. But whatever. I'm not a character in the story. He said, love and guilt.
Nope.
Yeah. That's what's driving her love for Carla and the guilt of what happened those 25 years ago that we're going to find out what that is. I really think so. So
also, what's up, Marty? I think it's the first time you're in chat, so appreciate you coming in.
Definitely. Thank you, Marty.
Always.
So now look at him. He just looks like the cat that caught the canary. Like he's so proud of himself. Like, oh yeah. Now I got you. And the deal is whatever I want it to be, and you would continue to feed me information, or I will make her life a living hell. And you now know what it is.
Facts.
After 2 minutes ago, he said, "Oh yeah, I'm just I'm a man of my word." Well, until I'm not.
But like the word is whatever I'm saying right now.
Exactly. He just seems so happy.
Oh, that's that. Oh yeah, that smile, that like little like. Oh man, like you used to kind of want to slap him, like you son of a.
It's a conniving smile, right?
It's like he's the sparkle in his eye right here.
Like ding. But it's like that evil, like I'm the smartest person in the room.
It's very smug, very smug, right?
It's like a crossroad demon. That's what he's like. Hey, you want to do this? But now I got you. Now I got you forever.
The Grinch.
The Grinch. That is so good. That's it.
Like his mouth like curls up. like, I like that.
And they walk out. He said, hey, you're gonna do it. You first of all, I want to have the plan. As Anzo talked about, you're going to replug in your camera. You're not going to leave your workshop, and you're going to tell me everything that happens. And I got people looking at you. So if anything happens and you don't do what I'm telling you to do, I'll know.
Facts.
Mhm.
Now, is that BS or is that real?
Oh,
It could be.
you
It
already know
could be
that people
both.
are down there. You know that people are down there that are sympathetic to him.
Hmm.
He sends messages and they do it. You know, that's how they poisoned the food before the first
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you
That's
know
right.
there are people around there. She knows there's people around there too.
Mm.
Mhm.
This is a good question. Mechanical forgive Walker like they did the lady who poisoned the food.
Mm.
Oh, that's good.
You know what? I don't think so, because Walker has more of a connection to them than that woman that poisoned the food did, right? And they all trust Walker, so their trust is going to be like seriously broken for her. So I don't know if they're going to be able to forgive her.
Yeah, and also the lady who poisoned the food, she did it because she was told to do it, but she also warned them, like, "Hey,
Mhm.
you know, so no one got hurt ultimately, you know,
Mhm.
They
and with
will
what Walker did,
forgive
people
her.
got hurt.
I think they will forgive her. They will never forget, and they'll never let her know anything that's going on anymore.
Yeah, you're
Walker,
not that person anymore who can stop. You know, because before, you know, she would go up and she was the real leader. You know, whenever like Knox and Shirley were trying to get everyone to be quiet, she would just like come out, and she lost that power. Once people find out what happened,
They'll
she's
never
a
listen to her
nobody.
again. She will be ostracized. She'll never be able to do anything again.
Yeah.
Nope. And she got how many people just caught right now again now,
Like
right?
10 people
You
are
know,
gone.
yeah.
They don't know if they're alive. They don't know what's happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, now all that's happening. Lucas goes back, goes to Judge Meadows' apartment, finds the pact of Salvador Quinn,
Mm-hmm.
and he starts to decode. He is just so smart. See him going through, figuring out the first time he does a code, doesn't work. Crap. So then he looks at it. And it says on the page says, "Go 20 paces forward." And he realized, oh shit, that means it goes to page from 79 to 99 or 77 to 97 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so he goes 20 paces more. He starts realizing, oh, the code is going to work.
Mm-hmm.
He starts writing it down. And we finally get, if you've gotten this far, you already know the game is rigged.
Mm-hmm.
That's why this is an important episode.
Mm-hmm.
That little note right there is probably the most important thing that the writers want us to know. The director wants us to know. You've gotten this far already. You already know the game is rigged.
Yep.
What do you guys think about that? The note.
Mm-hmm.
Anzo, you go first.
It's interesting, right? Because I think we already know like a lot of the stuff in there is rigged and set up. So the fact that he knows it now is kind of, you know, saying maybe he'll go evil, but now that he's seeing all of this stuff, maybe he's actually gonna be, you know, the voice of reason again. You know, I just don't want everybody in here to be like, because we have Billings, he's gonna be a voice of reason. I don't want everybody to be a voice of reason. I want someone to be like, you know what, I think I need to protect this information, and that's what I want him to do, right? But I'm not sure yet.
What you think, Brandman?
This is a tough one. You know what? Like, this rabbit hole goes super deep. And this quote with the game being rigged just deepens it even more. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
It is.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm legitimately not sure.
Yeah.
Facts.
What do you think, Tim?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know because when I first saw it, I was like, it's rigged, that like no matter what you do, what's gonna happen is gonna happen. You know, and obviously if Salvador Quinn was the guy who stopped the revolutions or stopped the rebellions or whatever, he only delayed them, you know, so that's why I think he, like, now he knows what Salvador did, and he's telling you, he goes, "It's rigged, man. Like, there's gonna be a battle at some point. You can't avoid it, you know."
Mhm.
So you know, that's what I took it as. You know, like he knows.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Brian.
No, I like that. Go ahead.
No. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just saying I kind of agree with you, right? It's like, what is rigged? Is it?
It's like,
is it?
Yeah, it could be it could be a bunch of things could be rigged, you know.
Right, and
Yeah.
it could be rigged for the revolution to happen regardless. It was just a matter of time that it was going to happen, right? So it could be rigged for that too as well. Maybe that's why Bernard is going so crazy to break it, because he needs to stop it, I guess. I don't know, but I agree with you. I think it's definitely rigged for that revolution to start.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I was thinking. You know,
I'm like right there with you guys. The first time I saw that, the first thing I thought of was iRobot. And the old man said, he said the 3 laws are perfect. And it's only going to be one thing that's going to happen. No matter what, if you follow these 3 laws, there's only one result. And the answer was revolution.
Yeah.
I think that what he's saying by, it's rigged is that he's telling everyone to silo. Because remember, this is a pact. This is just something out there in the open. So he wants, they said before in the previous episode, he wants people to follow this. He wants people to be able to figure this out. He's telling them. I think he felt a certain type of way about what he's doing. Like the person who, came up with this stuff, came up with lynching, or they felt bad about it at the end of in their life. They, put it out there for you. This is what's going to happen. This problem that I started, this thing that my work, my life's work is only going to give you one thing. And it's going to say it's a revolution. And he's telling you, this is rigged. You're right. All of you guys need to do this. Need to fight through.
Yeah.
So like you're feeling a certain type of way. I'm letting you know this is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So got Steve says Bernard is sadistic. He will hang the bodies as a warning. Walker lost everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's smart. True. Instead of just Carla being tortured, now it's dozens of them. He says, I was expecting, if you're reading this, it's too late.
I mean, it's almost the same kind of vibes, at least, you know.
I was laughing as soon as you said that. She says, I hope there's more to the message. I have no idea what the actual message might be, though. Yeah,
it's very.
I don't understand why Salvador went through all the troubles to make it a secret message, yet he burned all the history. It seems like an oxymoronic.
Yeah.
But I think it could be different times, though. He did this at the beginning when he's young, and at towards the end of his life, he thought about this next thing.
Yeah. I hope there is more to the message, though. I
too.
Yeah. And then him already going through all of this, I feel like it will be like a message in the message on top of that, you know. Like there's still more that even Judge Meadows hasn't uncovered.
Well, I think you would want to scavenge failed silos to try to trade with them in any other operations for supplies and replacement machine parts, especially if you know that they've already failed. Bernard knows somehow that what happened in 17, right? So there was some type of communication. So he already knew what that was.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, and the thing I've always kind of like thought was, if you find out there's other silos, then people want to go to the other silos because, you know, like the grass is always greener type of scenario. So, and I wonder if in the order it says like you must
stay in your silo.
Yeah, stay in your silo, kind of thing. So, but we'll see.
That does make sense. Maybe he's regretted the burning later in his life. Yeah, that's why I thought I felt like he did something. And then you regret later, and then so you can put this thing. So if you are going through this, I'm letting you know you're on the right track, and you guys might be ready. It might be more to the message. But I don't think he's doing it for Bernard. I think he's telling the people.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
I think that his words are going to start the revolution and push it to the end that no one sees. And I think Lucas is going to be the one that tells them.
Ooh, he's the one that starts the revolution.
I think he tells them, guys, you guys are going down the right path. This is what Salvador Quinn always thought, because he's going to go further deep. He's going to continue to go down.
Yeah.
See. But I just thought that was a really cool note. That's why I put it on.
Yeah.
But Lucas Kyle's walking out, and Sims sees him. And he starts talking like, "What are you doing?" And he tells him the truth, like, "Yeah, went and got Judge Meadows packed. It's for Salvador Quinn." And he was like, "Yeah, why?" Bernard's like, "Bernard wants it. This is what I do." He tells the truth. And then Sims tells him basically, "Hey, whatever you're doing for him, he has all the information he needs. He's going to throw you away. You'll be back in the mines. You'll be thrown away like garbage. And one day you're going to need help. I'm that guy that's going to give you that help."
If they team up, that's going to be interesting.
Ooh,
like the
that would be
wannabe, the wannabe Shadow and the Shadow who never even wanted it.
That'd be interesting. And I think he might be telling the truth. But this is Sims' attempt to not be the only person on the board again. He needs to have friends. Just like when he told Bernard, everything he told Bernard, it happened to him. You're alone. So you're like, "Oh, Bernard, you're gonna be alone." But Bernard actually has people. Amazon is still gonna work because he has power. Work for him. He has Lucas Kyle as a shadow. So he has something. Now, now Sims is alone. So he's trying to grab people. So he's like, maybe I can get Lucas on my side. Instead of just talking bad about him, maybe I could bring him on be on my team.
Yeah.
So we got this. He's like, "Hey, I'm not just a bad guy. I have a heart of gold too. And I'll help you." And he's like, "Yeah, okay. I'm gonna go run this back," and leaves. Then we see Walk come back in, install her camera, everything, and we see Shirley come in. "I can't believe what just happened. You were right, Walk. It was so bad. They called us. It's like they knew everything. It's like they knew they're in the room with us planning. I don't understand." And the more she talked, more she saw how Walk was acting, just kind of fidgety and trying to get her out and all that stuff. I think she started to think that something was up with her. And by the time she's walking out, she's looking back at her like something's not right. And of course, you see Bernard looking at everything in his camera, like the architect in the Matrix. Like, good. And he sits back because he thinks that he did everything right. He's happy where things are, and that was awesome.
Yeah. Well, I missed the part where once she leaves, Walker gives him the finger.
Yep. He's like,
that's when he laughs. He's like, "Yo, be mad, but I got
you down.
Yeah,
you're on my team." Yeah, we go back to Silo 17 because Wolverine or Juliette, as her Captain America, Captain America shield,
regenerative capabilities. She was the forgotten member of the Weapon X program.
Yeah,
exactly.
She's Captain Silo.
Captain Silo. I like that. Keep it.
Just looking like the Captain America with that shield. Exactly. That's exactly what was going on. But she's going in. She's trying to hide and everything around these corners. She attacks. There's a big fight. She has a hold on her arm, but she's able to subdue this child because it looks like a kid, right?
Yeah, it looks like a kid.
Yeah.
Like a teenager. Yeah, like super young.
And even these kids, they look like kids again. So that's why I think that's what was going on in them. That's why they're hiding out. So you have her. She's like, look, you take one more step, I'm about to put another arrow, and I'm not gonna put it in your shoulder. It's gonna be in that heart. So heal after that.
Yeah, it's super young.
I mean, maybe 15. You know, that's
yeah.
Also, I was thinking, like, did Juliette even know what happened? You know, like, do they know arrows, bows and arrows? You know, because those are very primitive weapons that anybody can make. You know, did they keep that info away from them in that silo?
I mean, where would they learn it? In what? Peter Pan? Go and learn anything because they don't have any books about anything.
Yeah.
And there's no weapons allowed, and they use everything they have.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a very good point. So, and that was the end of this episode. So we'll go through these comments real quick because you guys are saying things I try not to laugh while read. So, this isn't enough to make Meadow start drinking and retreat into herself. And did she scale that wall too? She was obviously younger. In the next season, we'll see a younger Meadows.
Ooh. A flashback. I like that.
The shift will have to be a prequel. What if we saw Nikisha as Meadows? I would die laughing. Geez, don't play. I'm always ready for my close up. I have so many opinions. I'd be an excellent judge. That I agree. I think that she would. She said, "Do y'all remember Captain Planet? I just started humming the theme song, substituting at the silent. Captain Silo, she's a hero. Gonna take pollution down to zero."
Nice.
Don't ever do that again, guys. Don't ever do that again. Just please don't.
But it's fun.
So we gotta make a shirt with that Captain Silo, like have Juliette hold the shield, like a raggedy shield.
That's funny.
He says, "I don't think the rebellion was 25 years ago. Those kids are giving off real Lord of the Flies vibe."
Yes, exactly. I couldn't put my finger on it, and it's been a while since I read Lord of the Flies, but it's exactly. They're gonna have a conch rolling around like you can't talk.
Oh, that's great. So overall, what's your last thoughts on this episode? We'll go from Anzo and we'll go around the brand man, then Tank, then me.
Okay.
Definitely a good episode. I can't wait to see how they end off this season. Like I said, I know that someone in the chat said they didn't think it moved on a bit. I think it moved the story on a decent amount, enough time for you to be excited for the next 2 episodes. So I thought it was a good episode. If you wanted me to rate it, I'd probably give it a B+.
Okay. Rayman?
Nice. Yeah, I really like this one. It's coming closer to bringing things full circle for this particular season. I don't really want to call this season a slow burn, but they're slowly unraveling the story, which I think is the best course of action for this content. So yeah, this is solid B+, A-, like to go hand in hand with what Anzo said. Yeah, loving the crap out of this show. So it leaves you guessing, but you don't know what to guess. You can't be fixated on any theory, which is what keeps me coming back to it.
Agreed.
All right.
Yeah, for me, it's just right off the bat, probably B+. I think I might have had it an A, and then the more we talked about it, I still like it, but it went down from like an A- to a B+. But yeah, overall, it was a good episode. I enjoyed it. These episodes end on such a great like cliffhanger each time, almost every single episode this season. But yeah, I mean, I'm curious to see where it goes. What happens with Lucas now that he knows? Is the same is what happened with Meadows, where she's just like, I quit, and then goes drinks herself to death for 20 something years. Like does that what happened with Lucas? Lucas is like, oh well, we're all screwed, so F it. So I don't know. I'm really curious to see where they take us. And now we got the Lord of the Flies in Silo 18 or 17. So yeah, I'm really, really super intrigued every time. We get an answer, and then we get a new mystery. So and they're doing it really very well, I think, this season. And then the whole slow burn thing, a lot of people are calling it. I can see it. I can see why. And I don't know if it's just like off of the high of season 1, how great it was. We get a season 2, and I wonder if it's like we're so used to like this new interesting thing that now we're getting another interesting thing, but it's not new anymore. So therefore we think it's slow. When I honestly, I think it's like about the same pace as the first season.
It was
maybe a tad bit slower.
It was fast thing, but Holston was there only for 2 episodes. Like, I mean, in my mind, I was like, dude, if he couldn't figure out Selma, then how the hell is he gonna feel like figure out the silo? Like, so like, and it was Sheena Jones is going there and going in the episode.
Oh, in one episode,
Will Patton is going in 3 episodes. So it was a lot going on in that season 1. So it was happening fast.
Yeah, I mean the same thing. That's why it was like it was happening fast too. We get Solo, and then we get Solo taken away from us. We get these new people. So there's I feel like there's a lot of things going on. But it's not a new novelty kind of thing, like we've seen it before in season 1. So therefore we're like, it needs to go faster, but you can't really do that. You know what I mean? Like this is on pace, same as season 1. But yeah. I don't
think it's as good as season 1. I don't think it's on pace of season 1. But I will say my favorite episode was episode 7. Episode 7 was my favorite episode last week. Was my favorite, and this is a lot different than that episode, so I can enjoy it, but I still don't think it's as good as I thought what season 1 was. But season 1 has the advantage of being the first season, the whole thing that starts the entire story. So
be interesting.
There's a lot of stuff going on in a 2-week time period. So this is we're setting up what's going to happen the next season. So I feel like that's what's happening a lot. So this is a lot more setup in my opinion. This episode for me is a B episode, because I think last episode was A+, and so it's so different. So it's still good, but they had some issues. There are some problems with it. So, I'm not going to say this is a
perfection.
It's not. There's things that I still don't like. Juliette is Wolverine. That's a problem for me. Like
we were saying, plot armor dialed up to the 100th degree.
Yeah.
So like those things do bother me. So I'm not gonna say it's great, but I love what happened with Billings. I'm intrigued by Camille and Sims, and Rob, whatever. I'm intrigued by a lot of things. So that's why I put it at B.
Yep.
He said that should be ashamed that Juliette won the fight. How you gonna let a wet lady with an arrow in the shoulder get the best of you? This is probably the first fight they ever had.
It could be.
They just use shock and awe.
Yeah, and also he just woke up. Imagine being woke. You just woke up and now you got to fight.
Who's sleeping on the stairs like that next to the
I know, right?
In a whole silo. Let me say on this next level right here. She says that episode sucked. Keep on trying to fix it up though. I'm playing. It wasn't that bad. I'm going to watch it again, keeping in mind what you guys are said today.
Yeah, I mean it's not my favorite. Don't get me wrong. I think I enjoyed last week and maybe a few other episodes. If I had to rank it for all 8, it's probably for sure on the lower half. I would put it maybe on the lower half, somewhere in the middle. But I mean, it was still good. I had good things, but it's coming up to the penultimate. So, like you said, that's going to be the climax, and then the final episode is going to be fixing that up and then setting up the next season.
100%.
Yeah, I'm expecting big things next week.
Geez, I hope you come back next week. I'd love to hear what if your mind changes. I don't think it's going to change, but I think the next episode is going to really. You're going to need this episode to enjoy that next episode.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Deb said, I didn't enjoy the episode as I did last week's, but I do appreciate it more hearing everyone's thoughts here.
Yeah.
Keisha says, thanks for the stream, fellas. This was fun. I always laugh so much here. Want to keep the stream, so keep streaming, so I'm not bored all night at work. That's what I'm happy that you're able to do that and be able to do what you got to do, and we can entertain you a little bit. So, and we can talk about these things. I think you guys come up with great points and great ideas, and you guys are hilarious. It's my highlight of my Saturday. It's coming to be able to talk to you guys. So
heck, I came back from hanging out with friends to do this tonight.
Nice.
I just hang out with my wife. So even after I'm done with this, guys, I'm gonna hang out with my wife again.
Yeah.
Same.
might stick my head back out, but at the same time, it's freezing out there. So
yeah, it is like 10 degrees outside. It sucks.
Oh yeah, it's very very cold. Like
I'm pretty sure it's colder
than Jada's heart out there.
Yeah, I don't like to hear about you guys talking about cold. I'm like, I don't even want to hear about your cold. We are minus 14 over here.
Oh, then I have no room to complain. Holy crap, I am sorry.
Minus 14 wind chill or just actual temperature?
With the wind.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. That's gonna be tomorrow.
That still sucks. Yeah,
because you have wind and lake effect out there too, like us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like whenever I watch any YouTubers and they're from Florida, they're like, "Ooh, I'm cold. It's 62." I'm like, "Shut up."
What do you know about cold?
Also, like next week, I think I read like next week they're gonna get down to like the teens, like low 20s and the high teens. Yeah. I was like, "You're gonna feel that?" None of them have winter jackets.
Driving off the edge of the road.
Oh boy.
Chief says, Dr. Deb, great minds think alike. This is fun. Really enjoy the channel. Thank you guys. Appreciate you, Jeeves. I really do.
You coming in.
You guys are the reason why we come and do this and have a great discussion. You guys are so much fun. So
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Yeah. Seriously.
Shows should pay creators to do this. Enhance the experience of watching the show. Well, I actually want to do when we do the finale. I would like to watch it together. We do a watch party for the finale to really enjoy it. I think that's what I want to do.
I'd be in for well, obviously.
Yeah. So look at that for not this Friday, but next Friday we'll do a watch party and we'll watch the finale together. So we'll have to bring Erica too, so we can all watch together.
Yeah.
All right, guys. This was a whole lot of fun. Thank you guys for coming in. Hey, if you guys share, like, and subscribe, appreciate everyone coming in. We will see you guys next week talking about episode 9 of Silo.
Yep.
Appreciate you guys. See you later.
Peace.
See you guys.